to be sure of it. Initializing live broadcast still. Oh, don't tell me it's going to be a pooper. Oh, there we go. Coming to you live from Mason's Rec Center / Mason's Bowling / Mason's Bowling Center / Mason's Recreation Center / whatever the name of this place will be next week with Mason in it. It's live Candlepin bowling. Kind of an odd day because I was planning Saturday and, well, that didn't work out. But hey, Tuesday is better than nothing. So, I'm with a friend. You might recognize him in a few short moments that he appears in some of the hiking videos that I've had. But he wanted to go bowling, so we'll do that today. And I forgot to... We both enjoy having blue balls. I call that the ball sack. And during break when it was raining, I cleaned my blue balls. Alrighty, now I'm all set to go. Let's make sure she's not croaking. Okay, good. I'm not expecting too many people watching. Alrighty, so it's time to watch me suck at bowling, or might get lucky.
The question is, who's going to suck more?
Will my right knee cooperate? It's been a bitch today. Welcome to Mason's. Mason's is famous for being, right? Mason's is world famous for being one of the toughest places.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
And I start off with a 7. There goes my hiking buddy. His average is slightly better than mine. Mine's a 72. His is an 84. And that... Uh-oh.
The whiff in the first one.
You got to reset that one. Oh, so you know the rules then. Because, you know, it's amazing how many people don't. Well, that happens to everyone, especially when there's a camera on. I've had good people screw up the first game when I... Anyway, his average is actually an 84, and that looks a little better. His high single's a 114 versus my 102, and his triple is a 170 something or other. 174, I think it was. This is what we call copyright infringement, and I don't think they have 20 pins in the pin setter.
Wow.
I'm wondering if these are rescue pin setters from the bowling alley used to be downtown. Because I've noticed some of the gates look different than others. Some of them, the middle goes way down. Some don't down as much. Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad.
We knew that had to happen at some point.
I was first.
I've also noticed that the pin setter's angled off. It's angled like a biscuit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, usually when someone I bowl friends with bowl in front of a camera, oh, that wasn't too bad. They tend to suck initially, then they get over the camera. Could have also just been a bad start. That's not bad. Ooh, come on, no. This is the farthest to the right I've ever bowled here. Lane 22, no good, unfortunately. But 9 ain't big.
Take a 9, I'll take a 9.
So would I.
Still in the lead, bud.
Muscle memory's getting a little better, although I still think my muscles have. Then I forget what it is. How coincidental. My muscles must have some Alzheimer's. There's the word I'm looking for.
Sure.
And somebody's watching. I wonder who. Yeah, this is an odd time, but this is the time we had available. I was going to go for Saturday, but that didn't quite work out for my friend's schedule. I did not put him up for this. He wanted to do this. I never put anyone up to this. So, I always want to make that clear. I never put anybody up to bowling on camera. He actually wanted to do this. It might be butterfly because I went up against somebody in the 10 pin.
Yeah.
He totally sucked the dirt stuff. And then got over the camera and started showing me who was the boss.
Really? Well, hopefully. We'll see.
Door action. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. Well, it didn't matter. 8. Sounds like I'm talking not exactly the reach.
Alright. See if I can do a little better here.
That's a good one. Not bad for a half Worcester ball. That should do damage.
Nice. I'll take it.
Kingpin remains. I'm hoping for at least a quick one. Forgot to mention it. I want to try at least get 3 minutes.
Got this one?
Everyone go ahead and first.
more than likely.
Coming up, the halftime report. Well, Texas boy, if a lot of people demand it, maybe it'll happen, because there are people outside of New England that wish they had it, and there's even people that want to build candlepin alleys outside of New England. So it's a possibility it could happen someday, now that it's gaining traction on the internet.
Fine for me.
Alrighty, and now it's time for the halftime report. Alrighty, halftime report. Autofocus is turned off. It should be working. Alrighty, well, hard to read, but it is readable enough. So far, I'm the one on the left, George. It's a 40. Can kind of see that. And my buddy, Chris, you can see that, has 31. Remember, first time in front of live camera, so he might have a little butterflies. We know what happens to people after the first game when they are on camera. And since you both have joined late, Masons is where we're coming from. Known to be one of the top 5 toughest houses in which to score. So you earn everything you get here. There's no help with sliding pins. And Texas boy, have fun. And have a good one. I'm surprised we got 3 people watching at this odd hour. 7. I was planning to do this Saturday, but our schedules didn't work. Tuesday was the only time we had. So, at least we're getting it in. And there's my stink frame of 2. leaves the 4 horsemen on the left. Tricky but doable. He picked off war and conquest. All that's left is famine and death. And 8. And Sam Sitar says, I want to join your bowling. Wow. Good luck getting here. I know you're from Western Mass. He finds ways. That was a lucky shot. Well, don't matter. That was a lob, but not lob enough. You let little infractions go.
Yeah, I don't think professional bowling.
If I go just slightly over the foul,
I've
never happened.
done it all the time.
If I go, maybe a foot or two past the line, let it live. But I've lobbed some that because I said no.
Halfway down.
You should see some of the stuff people do let go. Like when I did the last live one at New Palace, this guy got a strike and he's cheering and said, yeah, but the ball touched the lane literally halfway down.
Oh my god.
Tell it's a fun league.
Anyway. Yeah, really.
Oh, a little help from the back. 5 still standing. Oh. Alright, I thought it did go in the better. If you're going to give yourself a more,
Was it
I
in the
couldn't.
gutter?
I think it might have.
Alright, so that's about 6.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you funnel it, you probably figure it out. It's a judgment. That would stink for you. Trust me, like that other guy, you'll get over it. Literally, very few people watch it live. 2. I think the most I've ever had live was 7.
Really?
We were up to 3 at one point. That should do some good. All right, the 3 horsemen. War has decided to leave us. Ooh, the middle finger of the bowling gods remains for a 9.
Yeah, I throwing that at me.
goes in. Again. Another crap frame. And this. And things are back to normal. Probably want to chuck one down there. All right, time for the final report. After game one, very disappointing for probably both of us. I did turn on the autofocus, but it's not working. It's hard to see, but a couple of 2s, a 9, a pair of 8s for a craptacular score of 69. And my friend's getting over the camera thing. It's starting to show a little bit. And he's got a 67. So I won the first match, but it's not saying a lot. Second game. The strangeness of Candlepin. Sometimes the pins and the balls wind up where they're not supposed to. There's some backdoor help. That looks good. Yeah, this is a tougher than normal lane in a very tough place. And he gets a 9. wasn't too bad. Alright, he's got 3 horsemen and a sleeper behind one.
Right again.
And he's got an 8. The first one to the right. Suddenly go left. I didn't know if there was a little more.
Just a little spin on the ball.
That one, also known as copyright infringement.
Huh?
Also known as copyright infringement.
What's that? Oh.
What I'm famous for. That one. Oh, that's good. Ooh, maybe 9? Nope. Favorable piece of wood, but it's the head pin can take it. Maybe not. Ouch. A Kaleri plus the 7. Alright, now he's got the Kaleri. It's a tough one, but it's doable. Not too bad. And considering where it's at, too. first full clearing of this whole entire scenario. Not bad considering. The halftime report is coming up next. And suddenly, no streaming. Oh, now we got it. I don't know, there might have been a pause or whatever, but there was a little technical difficulty there. Funny that Masons has that, having the fastest Wi-Fi available anywhere. Yet a place with only 3 megabits, I almost never had any problems with it. And speaking of the halftime report, for some reason autofocus yet again deciding not to work. So, 9s, then 2 8s, a 9 and a 10 for a 44. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You're going to have to take my word for it if you can't. Meanwhile, my buddy Chris, 9, 8, 9, 8. And a 6, well, I'm sure my bad frame's going to come up, and he's got a 40. Neither of us saw that one coming. Just remember that day that I got a 44 for a total. Everybody's got that day.
Yes, they do. I told you it's either the good Chris or the other Chris that shows up. Very consistent.
Oh, Sam Satar's is the first one to do what? He's got a 10. And speaking of, I was the first one to get a 10 in this whole entire match between us. No one has got a Sparrow Strike yet, which again, here at Mason's, is very difficult to do. The interesting part is when it actually intended it. And he's got a Caleri on the left. I've got the first mark of the entire run. Ouch.
Yep.
It can be done, but it's difficult. Yeah, not that one, unfortunately. You know what this means? that had to happen. If you didn't, you haven't been watching long enough. Four. Crappy frame and an absolute crap heap 0 for a fill on that spare. At least it's going to be an okay game. I mean, alright game. I'm not even bothering to add for the triple, because the score's just not close enough to get to where we need to be. Alright. 3 of the 4 horsemen remain. And he's got a 10. Unfortunately, that's probably it. I don't know what year that'll be. Meanwhile, he's starting to get over the camera. Oops, backdoor action there. Unfortunately, the 10 is all alone by itself. Oh, come on. As I say, welcome to Masons. That's what you gotta love about this place. It makes you better. Your scores are likely going to suck, but it makes you better. And it's hard to see without the beat. That's the only line of reference. Well, every place has it. Thought the balls were going left for no reason, and there is a slight warp about 40, 45 feet up the lane. hit the button.
All right.
In position, you'll see. It'll come quick. Oh yeah, I've done worse. Collins ball control. You can even see it. All right, Chris wins, but actually a good game in my standards. ICBA, we both still suck, but I consider my 81 good. Unfortunately, I got a 0 for a spare. Autofocus does not want to work, but he drew us a frowny face, which is something I also do. You got 2 10s, a 7, and a pair of 8s. And I stunk with a pair of 4s in frame 8 and 9. All right. As I said, we're doing at least a triple. I don't know if he wants to go any further or not. And we'll figure it out from there. Chris saw what I was mentioning. There actually is a warp in the lane about 45 feet up. You might be able to see it in the video, but you know how YouTube compression is. Say hello to M.R. Newton, who's chiming in. Oh, 9. No, that's too far back. Could get a 10 box. And, oh, I swore he was going to have it. Say slightly, whatever. Being that it doesn't happen very often. You ever play at New Palace?
No. I've played 3 places. Harvard, yeah. And one in Pittsburgh there.
Putnam I haven't yet, but I want to at some point.
Yeah, I did too. I haven't been there in years. That hurt.
I feel it. I always hope that the people that bowl against me do well. And I don't mind getting my ass kicked. o'clock yesterday and I ran Doom on my computer.
What happened?
15 frames a second. It has a low gear, so to speak. When it gets to a certain point, the game actually slows down to keep playing.
Really?
The only thing that sucks is when it jumps up to 30, all of a sudden everything goes much faster.
Surprise.
Yeah. Just on. That's all that matters. Again, you're watching live Candlepin Bowling from Mason's, Leominster, Mass. One of the toughest candlepin houses in the world. I cannot share with you how it makes it tough. It just is. Even proprietors can't tell you. They care for their stuff here. It's just tough. Spread eagle with a broken leg. Go for the trick shot. Well, at least we got that side. Nope. 7. Did he say Havad? Sam, I don't know what you're talking about. Unless you're listening to... The microphone isn't very sensitive, so it might distort things we're saying. But Havad, no. Legit question. Finally a spare, huh? There you go, he's got his mark. I like that the first game was over. It's kind of close and goes.
And
Welcome to Mason's. This is duck soup, but I tend to not eat soup. Oh, damn warp. That's called FU. All right, Phil, going for his fill. Oh, actually better than you thought. Trust your math more than mine. Spare again. He's turned it on. Halftime report. And now for the halftime report. He's turned it on quite a bit. I haven't been doing too bad either with a 42. Worst so far was a 7. However, he got a couple of spares in a row. So far, he has at least 50. Someone could get a triple-digit score. Hint, it won't be me.
Just curse me, George.
He's getting better. I'm falling apart. Sam Sitar says, nice way to get your spare. And he says thank you. I say that because the microphone's not that sensitive. 7. Spare again. 3 marks in a row for Chris. Chris is turning it on, and I think I have a power failure. Oh, yeah, 4, 7, yeah, 3. Just wants to be sure those pins were gone. Not a bad recovery. Middle finger, wait a minute. Nope, middle finger stands. And this is going to be my worst game for sure. There we go, autofocus is on. Should be able to see the scorecard this time around. Ouch! No good, any of it. They do not have at least 20 pins in there. There it is. So you should have at least 22. That's even true for 10 pin.
Huh?
That's even true for 10 pin. That didn't go over. And 7. If that didn't go over, that would have been a good question. Best I can do now is a spare, and being Masons, that's very unlikely. Only New Palace Lanes is where I've got a goose egg. Will Masons be the second? But a half Worcester is bad enough. This game sucks, this particular one. Been that bad in a long time. And Chris leaves a mess. I'll wait for that dead wood to settle in. We don't know where it's gonna. Okay, I think it's settled. Could have been. For a mess, that wasn't bad. Ouch. truly sucked this game. He just needs 5 pins for 100. 1 down. 4 to go. Looking good. He's got his triple digit score. I keep saying just triple and people thinking got 3 strikes in a row. And a niner. Oh, this totally sucks. Not him. And I got the autofocus to turn on. There it is. And you got a spare with a 3 fill, and then 3 9s and a 7, and the power just disappeared. Look at all that crap. A 60. Wonderful. Now it's how many games we feel like doing at this point. So we're doing another one. He's got the moose knuckle. Spare! He's got over the camera. Yeah, he said you can get. I'll let you do it. In fact, if you can. No kidding.
I'll definitely watch that.
Get to see what you normally don't get to see. And you get to see how surprisingly far away the masking really is from the pins. And the pin plate. It looks like it's right there, but it's not even close.
No kidding. To watch it.
And how surprisingly low that opening really is. That's a much better when I can show you it. Ready? Hey, he's been doing pretty good. He got 104 in last game. And it's a 7. Really hard to see on camera. Really hard to see in person. Angled the right way. So close, but nope. Coming to you once again live from Mason's, Leominster, Mass. One of the toughest places to score in Candlepin. He got his 10. My buddy Chris is turning it on, and I've lost power. Yeah, I've completely lost it. Nice backdoor action there for at least an 8. And he got his 10. And now it's time for me to suck again. At least finally it's something alright. I have not done well at all today. Well, I actually had one good game. And Matthew says I'm channeling Don Gillis, how I remember him. Although when I ever get a strike, which is extremely rare, I do actually try to do the Don Gillis strike.
You want to go the half?
Oh, disappointing half for one. My buddy just reminded me, show the halftime report, because just to show how awful I am. Well, it started good, and then a couple of crap fours and an okay 7 for 34. Of course, with the spare and a 5 fill, 7, a couple of 10s and a 7, so 7 is really as bad as he's done so far. A 49 could once again be flirting with triple digits. Yep, I completely lost it. Okay, Sam Sitar says, who's Don Gillis? He was the host of Channel 5's Candlepin Bowling Show. I don't remember what year it went off. In fact, if you saw the June preview clip from Lita Lanes, I did do the Don Gillis strike. Ouch. At least he missed the deadwood. That could have been ugly. But not as ugly as my bowling has become. And he wanted to be sure the half Worcester was gone. Let's just say I need to totally skunk out the next 3 frames and only get 2 to tie my ultimate low-high score. So things could be worse. As he leaves a left moose knuckle. That looks alright. And that happens. Ouch. 6. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm past my ultimate low-high score. At least I can say that much. This is I've been having a very bad run. I just had one good game out of all of it. Six.
One more.
Oh no.
One more.
He's got 2 6s in a row. He better not get another 6. Paraphrase Joe Poutine. I don't know what his name was. Tom's not walking through that door. It's either too far or too head on. And there's no wood, so no trick shots here. Which 2 should I go for in this?
I don't think it matters.
I'm good at a 6. I don't think it matters if I have the 6. No, nothing's happened, so.
Nothing yet.
Hey, I could probably hit 60. The way things have been going, though. Thank goodness. The beast will not show up. He's only got 2 6s in a row. Niner. But the bowling god decides to give him the middle finger. do that. That's a good thing. Yes, Sam, the bowling god seems to be quite rude. The bowling gods hate us all. Spare? No. Oh, no, that's going to hit the other piece there. But at least you got a 10. Alrighty. Alright, it was pretty pathetic for me. Fours, 4, 4, 4, 4, 7 and a pair of sixes. He almost got the 3 sixes, then broke it with a 9 and a 10. I got a craptacular 61, and he got an 84. We're going to go one more game, but I'm not sure the battery will make it. So, for those of you on Facebook, you'll see the scorecard when it's all said and done anyway. If the battery does die before the game ends, there will be a footnote as to what the final score was. Of course, Facebook, you can see the scorecard itself. It's Masons. We know that the strike is almost impossible. Spares or not. Did it come back, or am I just getting a little power burst?
Coming back. Coming back.
That's not what I wanted. 9%. Yeah, you're not going to make it through the whole game, guys. And a singleton.
Mark that up.
We are not going to rush things. most important thing is I have a witness if for some reason something miraculous happens. And a Caleri on the left. Waiting for the wood to settle. Okay. Fix off the left too. Doesn't help to warp up the 50-foot mark of the lane there. It's really hard to see on camera, but when the gate lowers and raises, you can see it. Middle finger of the bone god standing. As hard as I was pulling I may still have 4 tires for when we leave.
I think you will.
And half Worcester left to right. And we're in battery saver mode. We're at 5%. We're not rushing anything. Like I said, I'll fill you in on the details if the battery doesn't make it. Or should I say, when the battery doesn't make it, because we're at 4%. Wow.
Two.
Holy cow. I think those 2 pins were not there.
Good, you got a heck of a lead now.
Not bad for a drop ball. blob there, but I always leave it up to the individual whether or not to accept it or reject it. This is not a competition. It's just for fun.
Wow, this is the worst I've done in a long time. Oh, what is that? First placements. What coincidence is that? There's the half. Look at the first game. Look at the current game.
30, 31.
Well, this is one for me.
All right, before the battery quits, here's the halftime report. I'm doing all right. The worst I did is an 8 so far with a 46. And he got a spare, but a 1 fill. Still, 1's better than nothing. And I think the power went out on him for right now, and he's got a 31, same as the first. Yeah, you're not going to see the whole thing. We're down to 2%.
Oh.
Like I said, I'm not racing.
No. Nope.
And if I can get the stinking links to work in Facebook, I might even link the scorecard. Sometimes Facebook cooperates, sometimes it doesn't.
Four.
Looks like there may not be any epicness. So there's going to be a point that this feed will just suddenly die. It still reads 2% battery life. So when it stops working, you can safely assume that I'll fill you in later.
Like your phone, I'm running out of gas. Losing steam.
Does NLB mean anything?
Huh?
Does NLB mean anything?
I have no idea.
Take the cloud news.
No, they were my father's.
Oh, that one. Best I can do is a spare if you're still there.